Hey everyone. What we're going to do today is what I call my craft fur stinger jig. Um, in the vise we have a 1/8 ounce ball jig. As you can tell, there's no collar on it. The color is brown, and it's got a size 1 Mustad 32-900 flat eye jig hook. You can see the eyes turned. Um, This is a real super finesse jig. I guess you could call it a micro jig. Um, this is excellent post front. Right now, when the water's super cold, you can't get a bite. This type of jig will do really well, and it's also good in the warm water. Um, Surprisingly so when you can't get a bite. If you see them hitting dragonflies, things of that nature, and you can't get a bite, this jig will work. So since we have no collar on it, we're going to start with some Loctite super glue brush on. I put it on the hook shank. That'll lock our threads on there. And we're going to put our base on of some brown 210 denier flat wax nylon thread. Once I get it started there, I'll just trim the excess off. Nothing new there. This is a real easy jig to tie, but it's really effective. You can see how far. It ain't too far, maybe quarter, 3/16 quarter-inch down from the head. That's where you don't want to go real far. Now, first thing we're going to add on this is our stinger tail. And it is simply a very thin piece of brown barred saddle hackle. Uh, I get this stuff at Cabela's. I get a skin of it. It costs about $45. But you can get a lot of feathers, last a long time. It's worth the money. So we're going to take this stinger tail and we're going to lay it on the back of the jig, and we're going to tie. And we want that so it drops straight back. If it lays sideways or something, don't get excited. It works great in the water, even if it's not tied perfect straight back. So now that's tied in, we're going to add craft fur. This is extra select craft fur. This is a color called orangutan rust. It's basically any brown craft fur. If you want to do this, works really good in shad patterns like whites and pearls. But I like it in this darker color with the flat eye hook. It allows me to drag it on the bottom and imitate bottom dwelling crustaceans, small creatures. So what we're going to do, the way we're going to cut this, and I know I had somebody ask me about how do I go about cutting craft fur. What I do is I don't use the small scissors unless I'm taking small chunks. In this case, I want to take a little bit, decent amount off, so I'm going to use my regular scissors. And what I do is I'll just pull a bunch off, a bunch up like so, and I'll actually take my small scissors and I'll go in here and just get anything that's laying down so it's even across. That looks about right. It's easier for me to do it, but to try to show you, I'm going to struggle through this here. As you can tell, I'm taking it, I give it a little twist. That puts it in a big bunch like that. So you can see I'm pulling on that material. And I take this kind of a scissors. I simply go right to the base of it and cut. And it's simple as that. Done. Now, when you cut this craft fur, you want to hold it at the end here and just pull just to get some of the fuzzies out, the shorts. This stuff doesn't have a lot of it, so that's why I kind of like it. It's a real nice thick craft fur. And I'll pull some of the end pieces out that are stragglers. Now we're going to lay this down. We want it to be past the hook point a little bit, but not as long as the tail. So I'll mark that, and I'm going to trim it up. Put it on the back here. Make a couple wraps. Make sure it's spread out nice. Now we're going to get another bunch that I've already cut. And we're going to do the same thing. Mark it to where we need it. And this is real forgiving. This is easier. I think it's easier to tie it in bucktail, but it's just working with the material to get it cut and all. That's where most people have struggle with it. Um, we look pretty good all the way around. Good coverage. I'm liking it. Now I don't need any more. We're just going to build up the collar a little bit. And you'll notice I tie it a little bit. I keep going back and forth, but I have it tapered, and I have it a little bit larger at the top than down. That's not. That's just my personal way of doing it. When I don't have a collar on there, you can tie it straight across. It doesn't matter to the fish. So now we're going to take a strand of gold and copper. I like this with this color pattern. Just two strands of flash on each side. One of each, gold and copper. Fold it over, as I always do. Sure we're even. And finish wrapping that. And we are done. Except for the head cement and the whip finish. We're going to whip finish this. I know it doesn't look like much, but it is really nice in the water. And it seems when you can't get a bite, this thing works. It's like I would call it almost ultra finesse. So we're going to take our Sally Hansen's hard as nails. Get some of the excess off here. I put it a little bit too heavy. And that's it. Let me get it out here. I'll show you what we have. We'll use our forceps that you could see it. There it is. The little stinger tail craft fur jig. That, believe it or not, is very, very, very effective. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.